I was saying stuff that I didn't even know was in me. It just started pouring out, you know. And I told one of the guys that was, he was like my right-hand man, and I told him, I had just read, it was payday weekend, and I had just, what we call read up or whatnot, and all my money was in the drugs that I had. And I gave everything I had. I had a quarter pound of marijuana, I had some ecstasy pills, all that stuff. I gave it to this guy. I said, here you go. I know you're trying to get in the game. I said, here you go. I said, you can have this. I said, don't even bring me a dime from it. I said, I just talked to God and I promised him that I'd never do this again and you can have it. And I just gave it to him. And everybody thought I lost my mind. Even that guy back there at one point, man, you all right? Because I mean, y'all, and when it hit me so hard. I went for 3 days straight preaching. Everybody, all my customers that came by, I started witnessing to them. They came back to get some drugs, they got the drugs, then they got witness to it. Because my boy was still, he was setting up. They were like, John, he ain't doing anything. I just started talking to him, man. And in that, a lot of people got saved. I had a guy that was addicted to milk. He got saved. And that song, God's Will, saved him. Because he's like, well, yeah, let me hear this song. Is it that powerful to change you like that? And I just sung it. I had it on paper. And I just read it out to him a cappella. And don't y'all know, for the next 2 months, every day, this guy and his brother came by my house so I could sing that song a cappella to him. And right now today, this guy, he graduated from college and he's running his own business. And it's because he was able to get out that stuff, And that's the kind of stuff God told me I could do if I just served him. So from that day on, that was a Monday, that Tuesday, I made it official. And February 17th, 2004, I told God, like, I'm going to give my life to you and I'm going to do what you want me to do. And that's how I got to this point. And since then, it's just been a learning experience, going to where God guided me to, showing me where I need to go, showing me what I need to do, learning what I need to learn. And that's what I've been doing. And now you have the man here before you today. But until he came in my life that day, I wasn't on that path. And I had got saved, like a lot of people. I got saved when I was young. I think I was 8 or 9, I got baptized. And it wasn't fake, because when I got baptized, I remember the feeling. I was happy. I felt like a load had been lifted off my shoulders. I was a really happy guy. But, I just got away from it. I really didn't understand it. Like Brother John talked about, I didn't understand it. But then this day come, and then I got back to my understanding. And now, that's what that's the purpose of my life. That's what God showed me. It was His will for me to go through that. It was His will for me to end up selling drugs. But now I can go back to the drug dealers. I can go down to the projects in Memphis and tell the people, this ain't where you got to be at. There is a other way out. You just got to do God's purpose for your life. And that's what He told me. That's why I had to go through this. So that's why I couldn't be mad at it, So that's the main event. That's my turning point. That what really turned my life and got me to being successful and being the person I am now. And the first thing that God told me to do when He talked to me, I'm going to prove to you that you just talked to me. Because there wasn't no voice. I didn't hear no voice. I want y'all to think of praise. I didn't hear a voice. It was the Holy Spirit speaking inside of me. The whole time I was praying, my phone was ringing. And I knew it was Grace because at the time she was just my baby mama. We had a couple of kids, and I kind of figured it was her, But I had told God I don't want to let nothing interfere with me talking to Him, so I didn't answer. So the first thing He told me to do, He said, when you get through talking to me, just pick up that phone, it's your baby mama calling. He said, tell her every single thing that you've done since y'all been together, like every little detail. He said, when you finish that, ask her to marry you, and she's going to say yes. So I'm like, there's no way this is going to work out. Not good for me anyway. So I did. I picked the phone up, and I told her, I said, man, please have a seat. I got to tell you some stuff. And I got into it, man, and she called me all kind of names and said all kind of things about me. But at the end of it, she said, yes, y'all. And we ended up getting married. And we've been married for 11 years almost now. I won't say happily married, but I'm happy. I don't know. She might have other thoughts on that, so. But that's kind of the main event, and the rest I just want to give you some stories of how He guided my path and how it kind of give you a little bit of detail of how I got there. My first one I remember, I had a coach named Richard Miller. He taught at the Greenlaw. He was my basketball coach. I played basketball. And I'm a big guy. I kind of played basketball just to get me ready for football, kind of like what Taylor's doing or whatnot. So I wasn't the best on the team. I was really a bench rider. But I was always at practice every day. I was the first one at practice. I stayed after practice. I did whatever he said. The other guys, they never did what he said. They never did any of it. So at the end of the year come up, we had this one guy, his name was Mike. He was Yeah, he was like the LeBron of the team. Like, he was pretty good. So the coach had all these trophies lined up, and they got, you know, little trophy about this tall, and he had one trophy like this tall. I mean, it was a big trophy. So, you know, everybody was looking, it was the MVP trophy. Everybody was eyeing the trophy. And, you know, so coach went through all the trophies. I got a couple of trophies, and the other guys got trophies. So now we got this one trophy left. And he said, now to call up my MVP. You know, so my might get up, pop his collar like, yeah, you know, he's doing all that. He said, John Stewart, and everybody's jaw just dropped. And I'm like, what is he, John? Like, I think I had 8 points for season or something like that. Like, you know, I was not the main guy. And but he gave up. He said, this is my MVP right here, because he's always doing what he's supposed to do. Everything I told him to do, he did. You know, he was always on practice. He never complained, even when he didn't get in the game. He never complained. And that, man, that really touched me, and that caught me right then and there. As long as you do what you're supposed to do, and don't worry about what everybody else is doing, you will get what you need to be, and you get the recognition you need. And that's what he did for me, man. That started just man, after that, I was just on everything I've done since then. I was 100%. Some of them I was successful at, some of them I won't. But that started my path as to want to be successful and doing the best I can do. You know, another thing I did that helped me along was joining the Boy Scouts. I did that when I was young. It was actually through my cousin Chad. He had joined, and they were going camping and everything. And I wanted to go. It looked fun. I wanted to go, but, you know, I wasn't in the Boy Scouts. And I went up there, and they told me, like, you got to join. So I joined. That's how I met Jake Allen. And, man, I couldn't stand him in the first meeting. He was just mean. Anybody that was mean to me in the first, I don't like it. But, man, I stayed in the Scouts. They got to work with me, took me on his wing, and I ended up making Eagle Scout. And that really that helped me a lot. Because I didn't realize that going over all those morals and principles and all that, I didn't realize how that was helping me. And I was actually living by that stuff. Even to this day, I still live by that, you know. And it just ingrained in me, you know, a sense of morals and principles that I use, you know, in my everyday life, you know. So that helped me out a lot. I got my first job as a dishwasher when I was 16. That really took my life to another level, because now I wasn't having to hustle and steal and do stuff to get money. I was able to go and honestly work. And I worked, man. I worked. Even in school, I was still working 30, 40 hours a week, even when I was in high school. And I met a guy named Derek Alson. And he took me on, and I call him my dad to this day, too. You know, and in school, he ended up, he took me to get my license the day before the prom. He let me use his car, and he gave me his car so I could use my prom. My cousin ended up completely ruining the car. I can't get his best story, but, I mean, he trusted me enough. He paid for the damage and then charged me anything. And that was just kind of my life. That's how my life was. God always placed somebody in the right place at the right time. So now I get to tell about one of my main things that really helped me too, that helped me get stable and get to doing what God wanted me to do. I can tell the love story of when I met this young lady right here. And this is going to be the official story, because we argue about the story all the time. We go back and forth. And y'all can see I remember everything. This lady remembers nothing. Like, you know how she call our kids? She said, which one of you? Come here. That's how she called. She can't remember their names or nothing. But yet she talked with me about everything, especially when it got to do with details and whatnot. You know? So, I'm working at Taco Bell. It's my first job. Working at Taco Bell. And I go in there, and there's this guy in there named Andrew, which just turned out to be her brother. And I thought he was just a white guy. He didn't really look Mexican. He was just, you know, a little white guy. So, me and him got real cool, super cool. And we had these terrible, you know, I worked at the gym. We was terrible at work. You know, we say terrible things about each other, mom, what we'll do, and all that. So, that's kind of our little game we played, you know, mess around and work. So, one day I asked him, like, man, you got a sister or something? I love to go to your sister. Just joking. You know, and he told me, man, I do got a sister coming out here in January. I'm like, really? He's like, yeah, but man, she already got a kid, and she's a little snooty, so I don't know if she'll be necessarily your type. So I said, we'll see how it works out. So she moved down in January, and she comes through, and I'm on drive-through at Taco Bell, and she rides through, and she was one of her brother friends. And the first thing she says to me, I'm like, so you Big John? I'm like, yeah. It's like, well, you can't get with me unless I'm going to be driving your car. And that was it. And I'm like, please, you can go on with yourself, you know. And I just dismissed it like that was it. I didn't want to do with that. You know, my car was clean. It was a key on rim. Actually, it was hood county. I kept them clean though, you know. So, but and then she told me, I'm like, okay, whatever. So that was January. So July, end of July rolls around. Never forget it. And we was at our same old stuff, playing again at work. And I asked, oh man, what's up with your sister? I never did get to hook up with that. Right when I said that, the phone rung. It was his cell phone, and it was her calling him to tell him to bring some stuff to the house from work or something. I can't remember what it was. So he said, oh, well, you big and bad. Here you go. He threw me the phone. You know, here you go. You big and bad. You go ahead and talk. So he threw me the phone, and we got to talking. And I think we actually talked about a good 15 minutes. And I'm like, man, like, you actually pretty interesting. And she's like, you too. So it's like, give me your number, maybe I'll call you again. So then the next day, yes, you did say that. Yes, you do. So the next day, she calls me again, and we get to talking. We talk for like an hour or two, something ridiculous. And it repeated for like the next 2 or 3 days. We talked, and you know, and by the end of that third day, we was like, man, we need to go out. And we went out, and I haven't been able to get rid of her ever since. I couldn't do no without that lady. I'm just messing with her. But that really put her in my life. That really gave me the stability I need. And it's not just having a woman, it's having a good God-fearing woman. You know, somebody that's secure, not just in herself, her own security, or even in you. You got to have your woman that's secure in God. You know, and I'm telling a story because, you know, it shows just how great she is to me. You know, when I first got this job up here at Rockwood, I didn't have nowhere to stay. Like, I wasn't even supposed to get the job. I was supposed to move to Kentucky. I already had a job, had an offer, more money than I ever made. I was pretty sure I was moving to Kentucky to work. And then I get the call from here, and they're like, well, you need to go check this out. So the job in Kentucky didn't want me to start January the 6th. And it was like November at this point. So